Pokemon Philosopher, Chapter 3, Part 3. Alright. I kind of wish I did the spooky episode this week, but that's how it works, I guess. Just because it's October, so that means automatically Halloween, because, you know, those are the rules. Yeah, whatever. Alright, let's see what crimes against nature we're doing in this episode. I already know what the next episode's fusion Alchemon's going to be, but this one not so much. Mission in Vision. I probably misread that.
If you were here last time, you heard dear Sarah. While she's having a little chat with Mr. Nicholas himself, we will be continuing the case of these rogue Alchemon. But before we do that, we might want to stay in the woods for a little while and use these high-level Pokemon as an excuse to train our own.
Yeah,
After
grind.
all, these Alchemon are only going to get tougher and tougher, so it's best to be prepared. Spend enough time here, and some Pokemon in your party should be ready to evolve by now. Let's see who.
Oh, we're actually going to get to see some evolutions. Nice. The hell?
When exposed to the
Hey,
Firestone,
the fire type.
women
Ooh,
will
Firestone.
evolve into Gruffernus.
Well, I said I was going to go back to get it,
Pokemon.
the
dandruff that
Gruffin,
comes
so
from
this
Pokemon's
is in my party
fur
now.
is said
I get
to be
another
like
fire
coal.
type.
Repeated friction can cause the creature to ignite without warning. That dandruff can even stick to its claws too. There was once an incident where it burnt a rescued child who was captured by it.
Ooh. Yeah, of course, the insect. Alright. Interesting.
Attention! At level 28,
Attention!
Anburst will evolve into Antillery, the soldier ant Pokemon. Using
Nice
its
name.
special appendage, it can fire a sticky amber-like substance to immobilize its prey. They are battle-hardy Pokemon, obeying every order their trainer gives them without question. Heck, one such trainer told it to jump off a building.
And it did.
Yeah, don't do that, kids. These guys have tough armor, but you don't. You don't. Just don't do that.
Thank you, exoskeletons.
If someone tells you to jump, don't do it. Don't.
Unless you're made of sponge,
these
in which
guys
case
have a
you'll
new
be fine.
signature move called Ambazooka, a powerful bug-type move that will immobilize the opponent, preventing them from substituting and completely obliterating their speed.
We are probably naturally missing out some more evolutions, but just by okay, she's winking. All right, just by going this way.
Congratulations, because it looks like one of your starter
Sinaqua?
Pokemon has evolved.
Oh,
At level 16, Nervish will evolve into Sinaqua, the jellyfish Pokemon.
okay.
Evolving and
Nice look.
improving has given it a bit of a confidence boost. Though it still prefers to keep its special talents under wraps, it's much more comfortable on dry land. Although it will only share those talents with a trainer that it truly trusts.
Nice.
As for the other two Pokemon, Butterpup and Bagrill, sorry to say, but their evolutions will not be showed off in this arc.
Of course.
Depending on when you're watching this, you'll either have to watch or wait.
You're
until
saving the
another arc
3
comes out
starter
so that
evolutions
they
for
come.
different
A bit
arcs.
of a bummer,
I see.
know,
Clever
but,
thinking.
Hey, we're still making progress. I wonder how Sarah's interview with Nicholas is going.
No, that's right. We are most likely missing on some more evolutions, but that's the price we pay.
Right, this is where he said he wanted to meet. Thanks for arranging this for me, Luker. Don't mention it, my dear. Although, I should mention, it's Smith. That's the undercover name that I'm going with. Mr. Smith.
Okay, whatever you say, Looker.
What's yours? Miss Clara. Clara Oswin. Clara Oswin. Doesn't seem like a very fancy name for a reporter. Maybe something like Yaz? Yaz? Ugh, gross. No way, that's a horrible name. Look, I didn't judge you for picking Mr. Smith, so please, just don't judge me on my choices.
I feel like this is references I'm not getting.
Fair enough.
Yeah, whatever.
Oh, shh. Perk up. Here he comes. Ah, hello and once again,
moments.
Mr. Smith. I see you wanted another interview. Oh, and who is this lovely little lady? Nicholas, this is my colleague, Miss Oswin. She's a reporter too. She heard about my interview with you and she wanted to ask you a few questions herself. Yes, Yes, indeed, Mr.
Maybe
Nicholas.
yes is supposed to be like as
Please, may we
from
take this inside?
X and Y. I'm looking too much into it.
What a lovely panoramic view, wouldn't you say? And that's why this tower is called the Lamp, is it not? It's a spotlight that
I'm sorry, whenever I
shines
hear
and stands
panoramic
out
view, I
within
just
the
think of the
darkness.
frickin'
Well, yes, sir.
the Gordon episode where the frickin' station
Please,
joke
can
was
we
invented.
begin now? Before
Ooh.
we begin with the interview, would you be interested in seeing one of my sponsors? Thank you for the honor, sir, but no. I'm on a tight schedule, you see, and I need Why, you're welcome, my dear. Here you go.
What? I didn't want this. I didn't ask for this.
Lord Aquaculture. It sucks not being able to see such incredible water-type Pokemon. So, come down to our under-the-sea farms to see as many water types as you lack.
Is this
Get
legal?
some awesome selfies with our local Gyarados, or see the wonder- Just a moment. Mr. Nicholas, sir, I'm pretty sure that's not what aquaculture is. What on earth do you mean? Aquaculture is a fish farm, is it not? Yeah, but that doesn't mean it's a petting farm for children. You didn't publish this, did you?
Oops.
Well,
scientists is more, when they say scientist in media, it doesn't
anyway,
mean he's an
what was
expert
it
at
you wanted to
everything
talk
science
about, my
related.
dear?
Just
oh, well...
I'm more
wanted
in
to
line of the
ask you a
crimes
few
against
questions
God than
relating
the
to these
aquaculture variety.
Alchemon, which you have invented. My colleague here, Mr. Smith, has informed me that you said that there would be no way that any trainer would release them into the wild, and yet I have seen a handful of reports of trainers doing just that.
Really?
They claim that the Alchemon were either too weak or too faulty. Well, I can assure you, if there were any such trainers, then their license would have been invoked. But I can assure you, no Alchemon can be found in the wild. But if that so happens to be the case at some point, then me and my company will implement our special fail-safes to assure that nothing happens. I do not wish harm on anyone, nor people or
They
Pokemon.
round it up?
I do believe that Pokemon will always
It's
have
to
a
kill
place
it?
in our world, but when it comes to battling, Alchemon are the future. The special rules we've implemented, like Alchemon having a 7th slot in your party, or having only one Alchemon at a time, all that, it's only temporary. Soon, everybody will be able to use as many Alchemon
bring
as
it
they
along,
want.
you're only basically allowed only
Right,
one HM unless you go back to a box, I
What
assume.
inspired you to breed such creatures?
It sounds annoying, but...
Sorry, just a slight correction. Create such creatures. These designs cannot be bred, obviously. I created them that way.
Oops.
Anyway, the same reason why I created the permanent EXP share, to make Pokemon battling and Pokemon training simpler. Not
so you're the bastard!
But for everyone around the world. Soon the
So another reason we have
wasting
experience
several
all.
hours training your Pokemon will be gone. All you'll need is an Alchemist Stone, 2 lovely ingredients, and boom, an Alchemon with no such requirements.
In case you like
No
Nicholas
training,
for some
no fuss,
godforsaken
no
reason,
bother,
the
just
experience all
your
proves that he's pure
battling
evil.
instinct. And, what of the, faults that these Alchemon have? Oh, that lot? Mere teething troubles.
Unfortunately, they like the experience all. You just made Nicholas more relatable and like
all of the bugs, and I'm not talking bug-type Pokemon, tee-hee, our Alchemon will soon pave way for a new era of Pokemon battling. Quite exciting, isn't it? I definitely wouldn't say so. I beg your pardon, my dear. Forgive me, sir, it's just the way you speak about these Alchemon. I've heard such talk before. Need I remind you what happened in the Galar region? Mr. Rose spoke in a similar manner to you, only instead of Alchemon, it was with Gigantamaxed energy.
Gigantamax.
And look at where that turned out.
The
I
darkest
don't want to
day.
jump to conclusions or anything, but don't you see the danger of what you're doing here? The unknown potential of Pokemon is something that we're uncovering to this very day. The power of Pokemon could potentially be the greatest thing this planet will ever know, and yet you're treating it like a child with clay in his hands. Mr. Rose was not a businessman or a scientist like me. He was a lunatic for thinking that such a thing could be possible. I have done the facts. I am the genius. I am bringing the future. And I don't think you're giving our Alchemon enough credit. No, I'm not. And I hate to say this, but it's because perhaps these Alchemon shouldn't have even been made. With all due respect, you claim that you can control them,
Yeah,
but
they
how
shouldn't
can you
have.
possibly know that? They may have been made by you, but they're still Alchemon. They're still Pokemon at the end of the day. They have their own free will. Pokemon aren't
I
mindless
deleted that.
beasts. They're intelligent. They're much
Well,
more
some
intelligent than
are.
you may give them credit for. They're not just mindless creatures for battle. And these Alchemon are probably no different, no matter how you genetically engineer them. If they get mistreated, they'll fight back. They'll rebel.
Look
they'll-
at Klein. That was
Sorry,
definitely not a
Jason, you
mindless
talk
creature
too
for
much.
battle.
I assure you that such things are not
Or
possible.
Tyranitar.
Like I said, we have the
Man,
situation completely under control. Anything you say can be 100% justified. Believe me, I am not like that disgusting
What's
Mr. Rose.
Hitmonchan's meaning
Well, it's not
besides
just
battle?
him. Lusamine, Team Aqua, Team Galactic. There are dozens of people before you who have misunderstood or underestimated the potential of Pokemon, and there's no doubt in my mind that there'll be plenty more people to come. Preserving and studying them is one thing,
It's just
but
far more
actually
continuity with the
trying to
Pokemon
change
world than the
them?
actual Pokemon
People with
games.
your ambitions
And
have made
anime.
this mistake
Not the
time
mangas,
and time
though.
Again.
You're pretty good about it.
You claim that you're better than these people, but tell me, are you learning from their mistakes, or are you doing the exact same thing and just hoping it'll work this time?
It's okay when I do it.
Well, this was an enthralling conversation, but
The definition
I believe
of
I
insa-
must get going.
Yeah, the way
I
you
have
know you have an
plenty
evil
of
scientist is them
advertisements to
basically
share
going,
with the world,
well, this has worked for
and I have a
literally
business
no one
meeting in a
else
few
in
minutes, so
history.
I'll be gone.
Maybe I'll be
Bye.
different. He shut down that conversation
Mr. Nicholas,
instantly.
please, I'm not done here. I remember you. You're that player person who defeated my son. It's a pleasure to see you again, especially considering you've encouraged my son to get better at his work. How are you doing in my contest? Are you enjoying the Alchemon that I have created? I hope so. I do implore you to do your best within my contest to try and escape the Alchemon, but I assure you, you will not win it. You see, I'll be aiming towards my son winning the contest, and if he doesn't, then I shall see to him myself. But don't let that stop you from trying, of course. He will need his motivation to win. Anywho, now that you're here, I have been wondering if I could experience you myself. Would you like that? A little battle for fun? Oh, what's that? You would? Oh, how wonderful, my dear fletchling trainer. Come here, Mr. Oswin. You're about to see some new revolutionary Alchemon in action, and I will assure you that there is nothing to worry about. Let us go then, player.
Professor Nicholas wants to battle.
All
Odds
right.
are he'll have a
First
team of
on the
Alchemons.
advertising list is Mitosaur.
What?
This Pokemon is the evolved form of Burgosaur, so make sure to
Oh,
go
right.
out of your way to get those. Evolution requirements are the same. Anywho, the icy
reaching a
spikes
level.
amongst its shell make it more efficient and defensive in Pokemon battles. No longer is it restricted with having an easily burnt or chopped down plant on its back. Now it has a tough, sturdy, icy exterior.
Use flamethrower.
Not impressed? Well, perhaps you will be with my personal favorite. Behold, Silly Million.
Silly million. Oh, the Charmeleon's
This Pokemon
evolution.
is the evolved form of Sillymander. Evolution requirements are the same, blah blah blah. Anywho, this Pokemon is far more efficient than the overrated
Interesting
Charmander line, thanks to its fire tail bulb being replaced with a glass
I
tail.
can't tell you what the overrated
Now
parts.
it is no longer weak to being killed by water. It can even fire a storm of glass shards out of its nostrils, the holes on its body, etc.
Dang.
Surely an efficient battler that will replace Charizard.
You surf, but certainly not in merchandise. That's for god dang sure. There's a reason they keep putting Charizard in everything.
One last
He
Alchemon to
sells.
show off today. Ladies
Guaranteed
and gentlemen,
money.
I present to you Car Turtle. This Alchemon is the
no
evolved
idea
form
what
of
their
Cartle,
glasses
blah
look
blah
like.
blah 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 blah, etc. You
get
know
the
the
idea.
rest. This much more interesting Pokemon compared to the bland Squirtle, which it came from, is able to grow diamonds out of the back of its shell. These diamonds are incredibly tough, though, disclaimer, they aren't real and aren't worth anything. But they do improve the Pokemon's defensive power greatly. So I assure you that this Pokemon will be fantastic for competitive
do crimes against humanity to the crime against humanity.
Well, what did you think?
I think you were so busy you were so busy explaining your Pokemon, you forgot to give it any attacks.
Wasn't it? Your Pokemon may take the lead for now, player, but I assure you, you will be using 100% Alcamon soon. Very soon, every trainer, not just in the whole region, but in the entire world, will be using a full team of Alcamon very soon, I assure you.
Keep telling yourself that.
We might have to rename them Alcamon trainers. First off, you repeated very soon 3 times. And second off, Professor, I thought trainers could only have 1 Alcamon in their party at a time, but
how do you have 3?
Well, that rule only applies to trainers, and I'm a scientist. Big difference.
I see.
Anywho,
it's rules for thee, but not for me.
Thank you for your lovely interview, my dear.
Also, I had 3 experience. Also, I had experience installs on while having 3 hype max potions and 3 full restores.
Arceus, it's like talking to a brick wall. How much?
That's an insult to brick walls.
Hold that back.
Give it a while. They'll make a brick wall of Pokemon. Oh wait, I think they did.
I don't know what this Alcamon that
that was a more Stonehenge.
But if it's anything like the ones I've seen today, then I have a feeling it's not going to be anything pleasant. Considering the unpleasant mood those Alcamon were in, I can agree. Sarah, what is it? You know, Luker, I've known Pokemon most of my life. I mean, who hasn't at this point? But when I looked at those Alcamon that Nicholas used earlier, you were right. They just seemed so miserable, so sad. Most of those Alcamon had faults that Nicholas didn't even mention. Midasaur suffers with a constant cold and can hardly move due to how stiff it is. Silly-Million is hardly motivated and have been known to disobey their trainer's orders.
Really?
Not to mention they're a safety hazard. And the gems on Carturtle's shell are constantly growing, making the Pokemon too heavy to swim, let alone move. These Pokemon just
She realizes weaknesses just by looking at them.
They weren't made for anything. And seeing them struggle like that when they're used, it's just sad. And it's even worse that idiot just can't see that. Indeed.
Give me away from my vices and back to my virtues.
If he can't see what's coming, then it's gonna smack him in the face one day or another. We just have to expose him before that happens. Right. Player, sorry for ignoring you earlier, but look, you just continue with these rogue Alcamon cases. I'm going to go dark for a bit and do some research. First on Nicholas himself, and then I'm going to look at this alchemy stone. I want to figure out how it's able to make these Alcamon in the first place. I believe I know someone who can help you out with that. One of the region's local gym leaders is a bit of an expert on history.
Really?
Maybe they'll be able to help you out with the alchemist stone. Just give me a call and I'll try to arrange it for you, okay, my dear? Thank you, Luker. That ought to come in handy. Do you need help with your case with Team Prophecy? No. The player and I are handling it just fine. But all the same...
We are? I mean, we are.
Quite a few interesting facts. So we might need to cross-reference it with some of the stuff that you find. We'll try and piece everything together once we start coming up with a proper plan, but in the meantime, you just focus on your case and I'll focus on mine. Very well then. That goes triple for you too, player. Oh, starting to warm up to them now, are we? Well, I said I would believe it when I see it, and I have. Though I would advise making your Pokemon a bit more stronger before participating in more advanced assignments. Oh, that's funny.
Naturally.
I remember saying the exact same thing to you when you were new on the job. I'm just gonna go. I'm just gonna get going.
Don't know much of
See ya.
his early days.
Try not to get ambushed by any terrestrial Pokemon this time.
Gives him a little bit of backstory.
Left the building.
Hmm.
Whew. Well, this was a heavy episode, wasn't it? Not much exploring, but I'm pretty sure we'll be able to
More
do that
explaining
next
and
time when we
a
go to
couple new
visit the
Pokemon,
next rogue
at least
Alchemy.
evolutions.
Which one exactly?
More evolution
Well,
focused, but
we'll
that's
just
good.
have to wait and see. When our journey through Revolu continues.
Our game has been saved.
Ah man, here I am at Waylord Agriculture. Oh, I can't wait to take a selfie with a Gyarados. What the heck is this?
Seaweed everywhere, as far as the eye can see. Like a little Jones Turner reference. Don't even make a part of the series. But we can do a little reference to him. It's fine. It doesn't destroy the universe. But yeah, it was more to know more about the professor and what he's up to, and why he's doing what he's doing. He's thinking that his invention is so much better than the real thing, and just ignoring all the flaws of it that are staring him right in the face because he's so busy looking at the plus, he's not busy looking at the negative. It's the reverse thing where it's like the bully be like, I'm so busy looking at the bad sides of you, he's not looking at any of the good sides. But this is like the opposite of that. Because somebody's looking on the positive side, just assuming it's better by default. He's not looking at like, wait a minute, what's the cost of this, you know? It's a very surface level thing. I mean, of course he cares about his own creation. I mean, for God's sakes, he created. Like, if I had a kid, I'd be very pleased with that thing, even if it had a lot of problems. But like, you can't just be blind needlessly to it, you know? Because then you get the bad kind of parents who be like, your child, I don't know, stole $20 from other kids. Well, my child would never do that. You must be mistaken. What are you talking about? You know, those kinds of parents. Which I guess the professor kind of is in this regard. But, it's good point out by Sarah to note the mistakes that he's been making and overlooking. And he's so busy focusing on what he cares about, he's not focusing on anything else, like what the fuck aquaculture is. It's called a Google search, dude. I know Google isn't a thing in the Pokeverse, but, like, Rodon Dex or something? Ask an Alakazam? Or a Metagross or something? You're so busy combining Pokemon, you think you can make one that talks and tells you, so, oh, that's what aquaculture is. Maybe we're just spoiled by Team Rocket's Meowth, I don't know. At least in the anime universe, the talking Pokemon isn't outside the realm of possibility. Like, I don't know if it's happened in the games, aside from, like, Chatot and Murkrow, who can, like, speak to a limited degree. And Pikachu, of course, I can say its own name like the anime, but that's... Pikachu's the exception. It's fine with him. Or her. But... yeah. I wonder if he's tried to do this before. Like, you think maybe that's a next step, like, after he's done fusion Pokemon, like, and next step we'll make them to talk. And then we'll have them do the dishes and do the laundry and all that jazz. So just make them glorified servants. I don't know. Nicholas is that age-old. Nicholas really is a mad scientist. As I said before, just like, this has never worked for anyone, anytime, ever in human history. So it'll work perfectly when I do it. I'm the exception, not the rule. Oh no, you prove the rule. Real alchemy has never been tried! Ew. Although, is this better or worse than him thinking that humans literally came from Pokemon like Gen 4 implied? Oh, I don't friggin' know anymore. That's a myth, I don't know. Regardless, it's a fine episode in and of itself. It's mostly focused on evolution and more developing of Nicholas's character and what the frig he's all about. No new Alchemons in this one. Well, there were 3 new Alchemons technically, but no brand new ones. Just evolutions of one we've seen, which technically is brand new, but you know what I mean. I hope. And yeah, technically they did make a brick wall Pokemon, Stack Attack, but technically that's an Ultra Beast, and it's completely different. You see, because you say Ultra Beasts aren't Pokemon, and Paradox Pokemon, it's the same freaking thing, I don't care. But yeah, technically they have made a brick wall Pokemon, if you want to look at it that way. Yeah. So you can't... I'm still waiting for the kitchen sink Pokemon, because that's when we know officially they've run out of ideas. Because they literally just threw everything and the kitchen sink at us. Next Pokemon, a Pepsi, well, a Diet Coke bottle. Have they made a stapler yet? They will. Give it time. Nothing is off limits. This potted plant will be our new Pokemon. Well, technically plants have been Pokemon, but a potted one specifically. I mean, it can be in Smash Bros. Why not? A pair of sunglasses, anything. And we all know it, and we're waiting for it, and we're gonna all bitch about it and online, and then learn to love it slowly, like the ice cream Pokemon and the garbage Pokemon, like Garbodor. Because that's the nature of the beast. I've been saying that a lot recently. So, yeah. Good episode, and it's good to see more of Nicholas's character. Good work, Esco, and I look forward to the next time with Lagron, or Apris. Lagron sounds better. I mean, it's all of Aggron, a little bit of Lapras, but Apris just sounds like all of Apris and none of Aggron. Agris? I'll find out when I get to it next week. Either way, a good episode, glad I checked it out. Blah, 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 blah. Later.